With that, we do have the third bill for consideration today. That is House File 679. Representative Bolden, welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself and proceed. I'm going to move House File 679 to be recommended to be included in the Workforce and Business Development Omnibus Bill. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Liz Bolden. I am a representative. I thank you, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity to join you today and to present House File 679. This bill requests continued funding for the Bridges to Healthcare program, which has been an important workforce development program in my home city of Rochester and our surrounding communities for a number of years. Given its success and positive outcomes, this program is now in the process of expanding to Albert Lea, Austin, and Owatonna. Bridges to Healthcare is a private-public partnership that helps non-traditional students transition to a lifelong career in healthcare. These careers provide a livable wage and benefits and helps meet the workforce needs of our healthcare industry while promoting diversity and inclusivity in our communities. Many of the students and graduates of this program are non-traditional students, perhaps older in age, first-generation students, or use English as a second language. The unique partnership of the program provides the pathway and support to allow students to gain the needed education experience in order to pursue professional training for available certifications and degrees. Over the past decade, this program in Southeast Minnesota has proven its success by enrolling more than 600 students in various certification and degree programs, and can now attest that more than 550 of its graduates have gained employment from more than 150 area providers, including Mayo Clinic and a number of long-term care providers. Examples of possible roles include, but aren't limited to, certified nursing assistants, patient care assistants, phlebotomists, home health aides, and now registered nurses. Given the success of this program in Rochester and Southeast Minnesota, which is proud to boast a 135% return on investment, the program is now expanding to the Albert Lea, Austin, and Owatonna communities. The request you have before you today seeks a funding increase from the Workforce Development Fund given this expansion. The program has received $250,000 each year for the last 4 years from the Workforce Development Fund. But to ensure sustained funding for the current operation and expansion to South Central Minnesota, House File 679 seeks an increased request totaling $475,000 per year. To share more about this great program, I am joined today by several colleagues. I'd like to introduce them and then invite them to speak, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that members may have at the end. Today, my guests include Jenny Reitman, who's the Executive Director of Workforce Development, Inc., Barb Embarka, who is the Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs at Riverland Community College, and Sudhu, who is a graduate of the Bridges to Healthcare program. And so with your permission, Mr. Chair, I would like to invite Jenny to share more about the program.
Ms. Ritman, welcome to the committee, and introduce yourself for the record and proceed.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today on behalf of the Bridges to Healthcare program. My name is Jenny Ritman, and I'm the Executive Director for Workforce Development Incorporated and the Workforce Development Board of Southeast Minnesota. WDI is a private nonprofit organization, and we provide employment and training services to a 10-county region in Southeast Minnesota. WDI serves as the fiscal agent and administrative agency for this program, which includes a number of private and public partners, as referred to earlier, such as Rochester Community and Technical College, Riverland Community College, Mayo Clinic, Hawthorne Education Center, which is our local ABE provider, and WDI. We also serve as the convener, joining partners together and serving as the liaison between the career seeker and the opportunities. We are well suited in this role, not only as a nonprofit community-based organization, but as a key leader in workforce programming in the state, and we have over 30 years of experience in addressing the needs of the economy and the region. The state is a key partner in this project, though, and we also have private support and funding. Our program started with funding from a TACT grant from the Department of Labor in 2011, and we've grown over the years to include a number of other partners and funders. Most recently, we received state funding through direct appropriation dollars since 2017. In 2019, we started discussions on expanding the program to other parts of the region due to recommendation from our local elected officials, and also because it was time to increase our impact throughout the region. We come before you today with a roadmap designed and ready to implement for expansion into Austin, Albert Lea, and Owatonna areas. Our overall project costs are $673,000 per year, which includes our expansion project to Austin, Albert Lea, and Owatonna. We've secured project partner and other funding totaling $198,000 per year, or 29% of the budget. So currently we have about a third of the funding that's necessary through other project partner funding. What we're asking you to support today is helping us further build a sustainable workforce program that serves as a win-win-win opportunity, as we like to call it, because we support individuals to economic security with livable wages and benefits. We help meet the needs of the workforce in the region, and we also increase equity in our community, expanding the tax revenue and lowering the costs of public supports. Increasing equity is also vital to our state and workforce programs, and I'd like to say that the Bridges program has an overall diversity percentage rate of hires of 79%, which is pretty astonishing for our region here in Southeast. In addition, 60% of the hires are going to support vastly understaffed long-term care facilities. This program truly is the perfect trifecta, supporting targeted populations entering the workforce, supporting private business and filling their workforce needs, and also increasing equity and the overall economic vitality of the region. We're thankful to Representative Bolden and our authors for their support of this program and the opportunity to speak with you all today. And I'd now like to introduce Barb Embarka, who is the Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs with Riverland College.
Ms. Embarka, welcome to the committee. Introduce yourself for the record and proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Barb Embarka. I'm the Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs at Riverland Community College. We serve a broad region across southern Minnesota. So happy to join our Rochester friends and share in their success in this program. We have done a lot of legwork already before we even came to you for this funding request. And we're excited to tell you that we have 90 students already in the pipeline at Riverland, working with the 3 adult basic ed partners in Steele, Freeborn, and Mower County to really address these workforce shortages and help students, a lot of these adult students that either are new immigrants to our communities from other parts of the world or who are non-high school diploma graduates. So we have a lot of students in our region, thousands of them actually, that do not have a GED or a high school diploma that this program is perfect for. Many of them don't want to stay in minimum wage jobs the whole rest of their lives. Many of them are dependent on us right now, on the taxpayer, to support them in multiple programs. This is really a self-sufficiency, welfare to work type of program. And we've seen the success that Rochester has. So my colleagues in the Austin, Albert Lea, and Owatonna region are excited to roll this out. And our teachers have been hard at work already, partnering up to provide those basic English, math, and college readiness skills. As I said, we have 90 students already this fall and spring that we've been serving, and they are now ready to enter the healthcare programs of becoming certified nursing assistants, medical assistants, medical receptionists, all of those kind of jobs, phlebotomists, things that are a good stepping stone that they can do gradually. So we are very appreciative to this opportunity. We know that there are many things that we don't have to start from scratch. We can build on the coattails of what has already been a proven practice, best practice model in the Rochester community. Those folks have been sharing all of those things with us as we've been ramping this up. And we have a lot more business partners to involve in this project as we get going. So that will be a helpful sustainability factor in this long-term plan.
Thank you so much for your testimony. I think we have the last participant, Ms. Is it Sudhu?
Yes.
Welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself for the record and proceed. You're muted. You're muted. Sorry about that. Unmute yourself. You're still muted. If you can unmute and proceed.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Sudhu. I'm so glad I'm come be here to say something about the Bridges program. First of all, I appreciate this program giving me an opportunity to change my life and become better. I still remember when I started to come here, everything changed, different food, language, and culture. I was sad and almost isolated myself. I had in the room, afraid to go outside, even went to the market to buy something. However, luckily, I meet Bridges. The Bridges program have a long team and a short team program that give me a chance to match my life plan. For me, my first step was become a nursing assistant and got my certification. I did not spend a long time, about 1.5 years, when I can work in the nursing house to experience how to care for, communicate with, and serve other people. I like to connect with people and could help them. And then the work experience helped me successfully apply for male phlebotomy program. To this time, the Bridges prove helpful suggestion, financial aid, and get me step by step to realize my life career plan to become phlebotomist. Now I work in the mail. Thanks, Mr. Chair, for listening my story.
Thank you, Ms. Du, for sharing your story and the inspiration to many folks that they can really achieve success by having good programs like the Bridges. And I see Representative Haley with question, comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Representative Bolden, for bringing this forward. I am quite familiar with the Bridges to Healthcare program, having worked with some of those partners in the past. And I appreciate that you and I had time to talk about this late last week. And so I just wanted to bring forward that I'm interested in expanding your bill to include Minnesota State Southeast in my region, as we are a significant Mayo partner, and we also have the programs for nursing and long-term care in those related fields at both of our campuses. Ms. Ritman and I have also worked together on a number of initiatives, and we're both aware of the high need for this trained workforce. It is, in fact, one of the top 5 areas all across our state where we need workers. So spending money in this area, I think, is a wise move on behalf of the state. And I'd like to, like I said, participate with you, and maybe we can work on an amendment to include my region as well. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And again, thank you, Representative Bolden.
Thank you so much, Representative Haley. Chair Davny.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm just wanting to understand a little bit more the career pathways that the Bridges program offers to students, clients. I'm not sure what your terminology is. I apologize. Because while I recognize historically we've been talking Rochester, and there's like no shortage of demand for people with any sort of healthcare credential in Rochester, I assume. As it builds out, how do you select, what's the process that Bridges goes through in selecting which career certification pathways you should offer and which ones you choose not to? Can you let me in on your thinking?
Ms. Ritman.
I'm happy to take that question. So I actually have the list in front of me of the current certifications that we're training for. So currently it's customer service, certified nursing assistant, home health aide, LPN, RN, phlebotomy, patient care associates, and hemodialysis technicians. So the decision on which positions that we're training for are 100% based on demand. And so we utilize our industry partners to share with us the needs that they're experiencing, as well as using labor market information to sort of forecast the needs of the future. So, we're really looking at two different, data sets. One is some of that anecdotal information from our industry partners, but also the labor market information to support those, to support that information. Does that answer your question?
Sure, Davny.
Mr. Chair, thank you for that. Ms. Reitman, thank you. It goes a long ways. Yes, thank you. Are you engaging with any regional economic development organizations, the MIF in the area, something like that, to, again, add to the data that you're using to make decisions?
Ms. Ritman.
Yes, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Representative. Yeah, we work very closely. We have this thing in Rochester called the Destination Medical Center, and we work with a number of different economic development organizations that are all serving the Rochester area. And I do want to say that we really do look at this program as a regional program. It's not just a Rochester-centric program. A lot of the training is housed in Rochester, but these positions and these individuals are going out and working all across our region. And I think that's part of the success of this. And like I said, earlier, 60% of them are getting positions in long-term care facilities across the region as well. And we also have economic development sitting on our board, on the workforce development board. And so, the short answer is yes, we work quite closely with some of those different organizations.
Chair Davny.
Thank you, Ms. Reitman. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Ritman. I think Chair Davny brought up some of the questions that I may have. Number one is, you're targeting recipients who are receiving Minnesota Family Investment Program, or known as MFIP, for those who are on the program through the state, or those who qualify for similar program. Are there any assistance that are coming from the Department of Human Services to support your program for those who are recipients of the MFIP program, or participants who could have qualified?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the MFIP population is certainly one population that we recruit from and that we serve in our offices already. But that's just one of many different populations and different avenues that we use for recruitment. Our general kind of individual that comes through our door comes through the program as somebody that is typically low income, but not necessarily, on the welfare to work programs. And then also somebody who, maybe wasn't successful in traditional education for one reason or another. So many of the individuals that are coming to us have multiple barriers to employment and are somewhat behind in their education for one reason or another. So that's kind of typically our student population. I guess a lot of the individuals hear about our program from each other and through word of mouth, and then also through our Hawthorne Education Center, which is our adult basic education center in Rochester, which serves a very diverse population across the region. So they really come to us from a variety of different avenues, a variety of different populations. And then, to speak to our outreach, we're trying to serve those students that are most in need and have the most barriers to employment.
Thank you, Ms. Ritman. I think part of my conversation with the departments is, how do we figure out to utilize the existing resources in the program that are meant for individuals who qualify for TANF program, MFIP, or receiving the SNAP program, in order to give them the tools that they need. So part of my recommendation to the department, and also working with the Department of Human Services, is to create a program like the Bridges, so that we can allow people to have skills, that they can find the better jobs and they can help themselves. So instead of just relying on the Workforce Development Fund, we also need to look into the funds that are available. We can utilize those resources to support individuals who qualify for the economic assistance programs through DEED. So it's something that I look forward to bringing. Maybe those are the resources that we need to be targeting, and then allowing programs like Bridges to provide more of a statewide program because of your success and helping many low-income individuals, immigrants, and those who need this type of skills is something I think we all need to be looking into and finding more creative ways and more innovative ways to utilize the resources that we already have. So instead of having silos, we need to have a uniform process of allowing everybody to have an opportunity. So with that, any other comments, members, or discussions? See none, before I renew my motion, Representative Bolden, please give us any of your closing remarks.
Thank you, Chair Nora and members. I just really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today about this program. And with your approval, I would like to ask that House File 679 be laid over for possible inclusion in a future finance bill.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
I was just going to add that I would be happy to continue the conversation with Representative Haley about the topics that she brought up earlier.
All right, thank you so much. I think I will be looking forward to that conversation and also finding other resources that already exist to allow this program to continue in a different revenue source that we can all rely on. So thank you so much for that. Members, I renew my motion, House File 679, to be laid over for possible inclusion in the omnibus bill.